You guys can hear me all right? And everyone awake over there? Or my chat's not working? All right, cool. Thank you, Katie. Okay, so I'm really excited. I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit nervous because I am not very tech savvy, right? So the idea of moving things over to Discord, I've mentioned it to you guys before, and I'm nervous about it because I feel like an idiot on Discord. So that's just because it's new. I did a call with Molly in the CCA community, and they are very well versed with Discord, and they walked me through. So I am going to relay to you the most simplest like explanation of this challenge. It is not going to be a very difficult to follow challenge because I'm not capable of a very difficult to follow challenge. So I figured it's a good way to kind of get our feet wet with trying out a new platform if you haven't. So tell me in the chat, did any of you guys that are watching now, have you been on Discord before? Or was this your first time? Because apparently I made one in 2022, but I had to re-download it for this like last week. So, but that's just me in a nutshell. Katie, first time. I'd be finding all kinds of things I've signed up for and completely forgotten. I don't know if you guys ever do that. Anybody else first time or had I can't figure it. Okay, Amanda, I want to tell you something. I when I first got on Discord, had a almost angry reaction to the app because it didn't make sense to my eye. Like when I got on the phone with Molly, I was like, "Can you please explain to me what I'm looking at?" Because I don't know what is this that I'm watching? And I got like annoyed. It's actually simple once you start to look at it. So, when you click the link, do you guys see it? Is your format, because I don't have it on my computer to screen share with you, but is the format that you guys have, there's like the little icon on the left, and then there's the topics. It's like an outline down the middle. That should be what we're all looking at. And I'm telling you, this is going to be like, people are going to laugh at me, and it's fine. I'm just doing my best up here. So I was getting annoyed about like where to start. That's why I made the first topic there. Start here. Ignore meeting room for now. Start here. The way this challenge is going to go is that we're going to come to this Discord server here, this page, if you will, for those of us who are unfamiliar. And we're going to start in the morning, and the goal is to discuss Eat the Frog. Those of you who have done Eat the Frog with me, you know the concept already. If not, or if you want a refresher, next week as our kickoff for this challenge, it's a few days prior, I'll give you the details in a written post tomorrow. But we'll do next week as our kickoff. I'm going to explain the concepts that this challenge is built on. So in the morning here, you go to the morning intention setting, little hashtag there. And then when you go there, it's basically just like a group chat. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, like tell me if I screwed this up, but you should be able to message in here, right? If you go to the first morning intention setting, the first topic, you guys can message in there, correct? If you're following along. Or did I screw it up? Which is a high probability, I'm telling you. All right, cool. So in the morning, we're going to congregate here and we're going to talk about our Eat the Frog, which I'm going to walk you through next week. Then we're going to do a little midday check-in, which is if you go click the back arrow. You guys are following me so far? Go to midday check-in. And if on that, you're going to see, you're going to update on your frog. And you're going to grade your day so far, 1 to 10. 1 being horrible, 10 being amazing. And then we'll just flesh it out here. Okay. Then nighttime review. Or wait, I'm missing one, aren't I? Dopamine nightcap. I'm going to explain this next week again. But basically, I'm, as I've mentioned before, I'm going to be doing more of the neurodivergent coaching, right? And I think if we're looking to start off a challenge where we're going to teach you how to have such a productive week that it's going to carry over into your 2026 and make the best out of this shit show that is this year, right? So that's the ultimate goal. Part of the coaching is going to kind of be like how it's been for CCA, where it's a little counterintuitive, right? When it comes to dieting and weight loss and things like that, we're told eat less, move more. That's the normal way to do it. And those of you who've been with CCA, we focus on individually. A lot of you have to eat more than you're used to. It's kind of that counterintuitive approach. So it's the same thing with this. I want to encourage people to do some kind of dopamine driven activity, self care, if you will, but a little bit spicier, specifically at night for a timed amount, like 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you feel like is a reasonable amount for you without you staying up till 3 a.m. or avoiding it completely. So I'm calling it the dopamine nightcap, as you can see as the topic here, right? Because at the end of the day, we're going to talk about what it is, what our dopamine activity is. It could be, I have a list here of some kind. If you see here, is everybody on the like running through this because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, are you guys on the dopamine nightcap portion channel? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are following me. You what the fuck if you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you go to the main page, the link here, right? Everybody joined? Should have made sure of that first. Okay. Then you go to the dopamine nightcap. It's under start here on the outline here. And that's going to be, here's some ideas. We have painting. You guys have been seeing my videos about me painting this freaking hallway, right? For me, that's my dopamine nightcap. It might be insane to people to be like, what the hell? Like, you're going to do, it's truly because I love it. I don't have to do that. I don't have to continue working on this hallway. It's done, but I actually really like it. For however weird that is, that's my thing. So at night, I do some work on it, even if it's a little bit. Now it's taken some discipline. I don't know if you guys can relate in actually stopping and not just doing this till, like I said, 3 in the morning, you know. But my whole concept behind it is if we're gonna be up with that whole revenge bedtime, right? Like the whole day we had shit to do. And now people hopefully are leaving us alone and it's us time. So we're up later than maybe we want to be. And we're going to be sitting there friggin' mindlessly scrolling or doing something that's just not really giving us anything at night anyway. You know how my whole thing is like if you can't beat them, join them kind of with the brain when it comes to the CCA stuff. The same thing here. It's if you're going to be up anyway, you might as well have something a little bit pre-planned so it's at least giving you something in return. So I said before, it's kind of like self-care, but a little spicier because I want you to have the flexibility to make it whatever your thing is. I don't want you to think of it as like self-care because we tend to put that into like a relaxing box when maybe some of our biggest energy bursts while we're trying to figure this shit out, a lot of our energy bursts are coming at night. So why are we sitting there full of anxiety, like vibrating anxiety in bed at night when we're not even tired yet? You know, should you go run? No, that's not, I don't think that's necessarily good for anyone. If you have the energy to go running at night, we need some blood work. But, you know, my point is don't limit yourself to like the idea of bubble baths and face masks if that's not your dopamine activity, you know? Um, Midnight Mario Kart, that's what they're calling it these days. No, it just sounded like something that would be code word. Um, hopefully. I'm saying I want to play. Yeah, but honestly, like play a game. Nick and I have been talking about doing that whole like how you painting, like how you see each other, just because I think it would be hilarious. Just where you time it. If you guys have seen that on TikTok or on Instagram, where it's like paint how each other, do shit like that. do goofy stuff, whatever. Like, you don't have to get up and go do something. You don't have to go mellow out with a face mask if you don't want. Um, do something that feels maybe even a little lively at night if you're going to be up anyway, you know. Might be surprised what you can accomplish at that time. So, and then after that, to close out the night, we're going to do the nighttime review where we're going to go over our frog. You know, what did we get done? I wrote that here, right? I have my reading glasses. I don't know why I'm like doing this to myself. Okay. Every night, come here and update on your frog, overall rose and thorn from your day. If you know my favorite rose and thorn, you know, the good, the bad, and what you're looking forward to tomorrow. And that's how we're going to round it out each day. Now, on the bottom here are these areas I have, if I've set it up correctly. I'm going to be putting some resources into these concepts threads or concepts channels, whatever the fuck they're called, and explain what Eat the Frog is. So, and if you're watching this and you're like, well, what the hell is update on our frog? I know even if you've heard this a million times, it's a weird concept to take on. So I'm going to have it all mapped out, what Eat the Frog is. Standard over schedule and assign a time are just two of my stress management tips for productivity. For those of us who either get like, you know, analysis paralysis or who get super overwhelmed trying to do it all. So these will be filled out. I ran through this pretty quickly. I'll take your questions and stuff. Oh, I have the meeting room up at top. If you see, if you go back to the main page, at the top of the outline, there's the meeting room. My goal eventually is to move, if we like this, and I know I'm going to write out like an explanation of how to use this so you can have a resource. But if we like this and get used to it, my goal is to move this on all in one place. So instead of having to come to Zoom, instead of having WhatsApp, instead of having the Facebook, the Google Drive, my goal is to have it literally in just at this link. This is the place and have it just listed. So my thing I'm going to tell you guys is get familiar with it. You guys can use these channels, like eventually the meeting room there that I have could be open to you at all times. You guys could pop in and do body doubling sessions. We can do workout sessions in there. You know, it can be an ongoing kind of hub for CCA, and I'm really excited to do that. I haven't decided if we're going to do a meeting room Zoom for this challenge yet, but I know next week on Thursday, I'm so congested all of a sudden. Sorry. I'm like breathing like James Gandolfini. I know next Thursday we're going to do the concepts explanation. So I'm going to lay, you know, the three here, the Eat the Frog, standard over schedule, and assign a time. But questions? Questions? What are you excited for? What are you nervous for? I'm so excited to have some structure with some freedom. I've been posting about it more, if you've been noticing on my Instagram, because I think that that's really important is as I've thought about like how I want my coaching to go, I've thought about the parts that I really love about it and the parts that I didn't necessarily love about it. And what I do love about it is watching people feel unburdened by having to do things a certain way. Because I know that there's a lot of crossover between different neurodivergencies, and sometimes that rigidity can cause so much stress. So it's not about doing a program and learning how to do things well. If there's something I've learned as an adult with not a whole lot of support available to us in terms of like autism and ADHD and things like that, is it has to work for us. So I actually really like teaching like the structured flexibility. And I think it's easier to teach that with this stuff than with health stuff, you know, because it's kind of hard to merge kind of a rigid thing like health stuff with it, if that makes sense. So, okay, no questions in the chat. I'm excited for this. I would say, guys, honestly, give Discord a chance. I'm going to try and see if I can find some more interesting servers to recommend for you guys to join because I'm going to continue doing some more research on this. The challenge is probably going to be I think Monday the 16th. So you keep an eye out over the next week on the Facebook page and the WhatsApp chat. I'm going to be updating you guys with a lot of what I just said in a written format, um, and just some fun things. So keep an eye out. If you have any questions, if you need to know anything, I know this was a quick one, damn, please text me and enjoy the rest of your night. Okay?